You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 127.1.3, our boys basketball week in review for the North Central Conference, the Hoosier Heritage Conference, and the Pioneer North Division, with interviews with Muncie Central head coach Justin Ullom and Anderson Prep assistant coach Mike King.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and a Merry Christmas to everyone from the Central Indiana Sports Report. Today is December 25th, 2024. It's a Wednesday. It's Christmas Day, but it's still a day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt. Producer Susie is right here next to me producing her butt off. Sorry we're a little late again. Again, I'm sure you'll understand. And there are no sporting events till Friday. The high school sporting events till Friday, so we felt like we had plenty of time. Coming up on Thursday morning, we will have our top 20 power poll and our weekly honors with the player of the week, performance of the week, coach of the week, team of the week, and more for both boys and girls. That will be episode 127.1.4. Again, that'll be first thing on Thursday morning. Also, Friday morning, we'll have our holiday tournament preview for both boys and girls with some guests and a special look at the Grant 4 boys tournament with Grant Schaus of the Action Sports Network. The girls is next week. We'll do the same for them then. Do us a huge favor and go like, subscribe, or follow us at your favorite podcasting site so you do not miss a single segment. Also, we're now at YouTube. Please go there and subscribe. Coming up, I will play my conversations with Muncie Central head coach Justin Ullom and Anderson Prep assistant coach Mike King. We start with the great North Central Conference and start at the top of the standings where Marion resides after beating Kokomo on Friday. Marion is 6-1 overall, 2-0 in the NCC, and now ranked number 14 in Class 3A after going 2-0 over the weekend. The Giants have won the only 2 NCC games contested so far this season, and they've won 4 games in a row. They won a wild one on Friday, 109-104 in overtime over one of the conference favorites, Kokomo. Marion led almost the entire contest. It was 52-38 at the half. Kokomo tied the game at 95 to send the game into overtime. But then Marion outscored the Wildcats 14-9 in the extra session. Marion forced 26 turnovers. Junior Tim Jones had 26 points, 10 steals, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Senior Kobe Johnson had 17 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. And junior Logan Barnes had 14 points and 7 rebounds. And senior Jadion Smith had 10 points. On Saturday, the Giants won their 4th game in a row, coming back and taking care of business at Huntington North. Both games on the road this weekend, by the way. Jones finished with 18 points, 4 steals, and 3 rebounds. Barnes, 17 points and 8 rebounds. And senior Amar Rogers had 13 points in the win. Marion has the week off until Friday, January 3rd, when they will face 4A number 2 Lawrence North in another big test. Anderson is ranked 10th in Class 4A. They are 5-1 overall and have not yet played a conference game. They took their first loss of the season, 56-52 at home against a very good Mount Vernon team on Tuesday. Anderson shot a season low 34% in the loss. Senior Damian King had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. And senior Javon Winfield, 14 points, 3 steals, 3 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Anderson did bounce back on Saturday in a big way, beating then 6th ranked Pike 79-63. Pike's now ranked 13th. Anderson shot 71% through 3 quarters and led 65-45 after 3. They outscored Pike 30-18 in the third quarter after leading by 8 points at halftime. Warfield led the Indians with 21. Freshman Don Bowling had 16. King finished with 14 points and went over 1,000 points for his career. Anderson will be in a 4-team one-day tournament at East Noble. They open with 1-6 John Glenn at 3 p.m. Poor John Glenn. Then they will face either 7-1 Garrett or 1-4 East Noble at 7:45. Muncie Central is 1-5 overall and have not played a conference game yet. It is a very good 1-5. This week they lost 59-50 to Class 2A number 10 Tipton. Freshman Jackson Johnson had 18 points through 3 quarters and finished with a team best 20 points. Senior LJ Strange had 10 points, and freshman Carlos Eccles had 9 while running the show. Then on Saturday, they lost 49-46 in overtime at home against reigning regional champion Delta, which is now 6-1 on the season. Junior Shamar Taylor led the Bearcats with 21 points. Johnson had 9, and juniors Landon Wells and Terry Miles scored 7 points apiece. Delta hosts a holiday tournament this week. They open at noon on Friday against 5-1 Columbia City. We will have a conversation with Muncie Central head coach Justin Ullom about the tournament field and our tournament preview special on Friday. And here he is to talk about the Bearcats 0-2 weekend and their 1-5 start.
We're getting better. It's the coach cliche, right, of not worrying about your record, even though we all hate losing. So we struggle with it a little bit, but the struggle is keeping everybody together, because what are the players hearing outside of the gym, whether that's at home or in the community, and keeping them together. And so far they're all bought in and playing really hard. And again, I think we've gotten better each of the last few games.
Well, I've gotten to see your team twice, and we are certainly saying good things about your team. We've been saying it since we saw you at the field house last week. Those young kids of yours know what they're doing. They're smart. There's going to be a special group. You can see it.
Well, I think so. They certainly, those guys hate losing too, and then that's a big deal. They love to compete. I was telling a few people yesterday after the close loss there at Delta this weekend. We had a young guy that maybe took a ill-advised shot when late in the game, time and score, and I just was saying he's going to learn, but I'd much rather have somebody who's willing to take the shot and willing to make the play than maybe afraid of the moment. So we'll get it figured out. I do love the young guys, and we got a good group of some juniors and a senior as well.
Right. I was about to say most of our attention we've been talking about has been Jackson and Carlos and what they're going to bring for the future. And of course, you still have Shamar Taylor, awfully good player. LJ Strange is an awfully good player, and those guys are good veterans for you.
They've been playing well. We'd throw Landon Wells in there as well. He's really kind of starting to hit a groove here and stuff in the stat sheet with assists, rebounds, and a few points. You talk about our freshmen, and we certainly do. One of the amazing things is we have 6 freshmen up on JV and varsity.
Wow.
And then we have a full roster of 11 on our freshman team. So Jackson and Carlos are getting all the minutes at the varsity level right now, but there's a big group there that's going to compete for a few years to come.
Those are like 1980s, 1990s numbers. We haven't seen numbers like
great.
that in a long time. Yeah.
I know, it feels great.
That is definitely a program to keep an eye on. Also a program to keep an eye on despite an 0-2 weekend is 5-2 Kokomo. The Wildcats took a loss to Marion 109-104 on Friday to move from the top of the league to the bottom, temporarily, I'm sure. In the loss, senior Zion Bellamy had the 11th best scoring night in Kokomo history with 43 points. And that's an incredible history, by the way, at Kokomo, in case you didn't know. He also had 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals. Freshman DJ Nash, 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Yes, I said freshman DJ Nash, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Junior Corbin Hamill had 20 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. Obviously, Kokomo had nothing left in them on Saturday when they lost 74-36 at home against 4A number 7 Carmel. They shot just 26% from the field after shooting no worse than 47% in any game so far this season. Hamill had 17 points. Bellamy was just 2 for 11, 0 for 6 from the three-point line with 6 points. Kokomo hosts an 8-team, 2-day, 3-game tournament starting with 4-3 New Haven at 11 a.m. on Friday. New Haven started the season 1-3 and has won 3 in a row under first-year head coach Brandon Appleton. Again, we'll have more on this tournament on Friday's Holiday Tournament Preview Special. Now we move to the Hoosier Heritage Conference. Delta is 6-1 overall, 1-1 in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. The Eagles won their 4th and 5th straight games since a 21-point loss to Mount Vernon on December 6th. This week they defeated Jay County 60-44 on Friday. They outscored the Patriots 36-22 in the second half. Then they beat Muncie Central in overtime on Saturday 49-46. According to Cade Hampton of the Star Press, junior Lucas Bragg had a season-best 16 points. Senior Jordan Fernie had 13. Senior Bronson Edwards finished with 11, including some key free throws down the stretch in overtime. Delta hosts an 8-team, 3-game, 2-day tournament this weekend. It starts with 6-1 Fort Wayne South at 10:30 Friday morning, and then they'll get either 0-6 Belmont or 2-4 Cecina on Friday at 6:30 or 8. Pendleton Heights is 2-5 overall, 0-1 in the Hoosier Heritage. They lost 62-59 at Guerin Catholic on Tuesday. That's Class 3A number 3 Guerin Catholic, by the way. Pendleton Heights schedule just brutal. A little easier here from this point, but not much. Junior Cooper Sims had 16 points, 4 steals, 3 rebounds. Senior Evan Mazingo, 14 points, 5 rebounds. Senior Joseph Estes, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Then on Saturday, they beat Class A number 4 Liberty Christian 60-45. By the way, they were number 2 at the time. Sims had a career-high 33 points, was 11 for 17 from the field, 5 for 8 from behind the three-point line, 6 for 9 at the foul line. He outscored Liberty by himself 13-8 in the fourth quarter. He also had 10 rebounds and 3 steals. Tune in to Thursday morning's weekly honors. I am sure that will be one of the performances of the week finalists. Haven't put it all together yet, but I have a feeling that'll be on there. Also for Pendleton, Mazingo, 9 points and 4 rebounds, and junior Ashan Singh, 8 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. The rebounds and assists were new season highs for Singh. Heights hosts 1-4 Chatard Friday before hosting LaPel in the first round of the Madison County Tournament on Monday, January 6th. Yorktown is 3-4 overall, 0-3 in the conference. They've lost 4 in a row after a 3-0 start. 3 of those 4 losses have been conference games. On Friday, they lost 68-41 at home against 4A number 3 Greenfield Central, 68-41. Already said that. Senior Efren Doherty, 14 points. He was 7 for 13 from the field, had 5 rebounds and 4 steals. Senior Austin Cates and Connor Rowray had 6 points apiece. Rowray also had a team high 7 rebounds. On Saturday, they lost another tough conference game, 48-46 at Shelbyville. It was close throughout. Yorktown led 20-19 at the half, and the game was tied at 35 at the end of 3 quarters. Yorktown is at a holiday tournament at Greenwood on Saturday. It's a 2-game, 1-day tournament. They face 5-1 Columbus East in the first round, or 4-3 Triton Central, or 5-3 Greenwood in the consolation game at 5, or the championship game at 7. To the Pioneer Conference North Division, where Class A number 4 Liberty Christian is 5-3 overall, 3-0 in the conference. They came from behind to beat rival Anderson Prep 59-57 to clinch at least a share of the Pioneer North Division. Liberty had 18 steals in the win. They were led by senior Christian Townsend, who had 20 points and 5 steals, sophomore Tywayne Fuller, who had 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals. Senior Marion Page had 10 points and 8 rebounds. On Saturday, the Lions lost 60-45 at Pendleton Heights. They trailed at each stop, but it was all close, 15-14 at the end of the first, 29-25 at the half, and 43-37 at the end of the third quarter. Liberty's schedule doesn't get any easier. They host 1-5 Brownsburg on Saturday. Despite the loss to Liberty Christian, Anderson Prep is still in the middle of its best start in program history. They are definitely for real. They lost their final game before Christmas break, but it was by 2 points on the road to a team that a lot of people believe will win the Class A state championship in March. In the 60-45 loss, there were 4 Jets in double figures led by senior Cameron Anderson, who had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Senior Lincoln Fathauer had 13 points and 4 rebounds. Seniors Marcus McLean and Zamarian Bryant scored 12 points apiece. McLean also had 10 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3 assists. Anderson Prep is off until Monday, January 6th, when they face 2-3 Frankton and the opening round of the Madison County tournament. I spoke with Anderson Prep assistant coach Mike King earlier this week. Well, Coach, 59-57 loss at Liberty Christian in the final game of 2024. Do you go into the Christmas break thinking, man, we can play with anybody, or do you go in thinking, man, we let one get away?
A little of both. I think before the season, had you given us the option, we would have taken it and ran like a bandit.
Exactly.
Having said that, going through the process, going through the game, our kids just played their tails off, and we couldn't be more proud of the effort and the energy that our kids put forth. And we kind of feel like, we led most of the game. I think we were up 7 with about 6 minutes to go, and we just had a couple of costly turnovers down the stretch. And you give a lot of credit to Liberty and to Coach Anderson and his kids. And so a little of both. I think we thought we had it, but we didn't.
I've been asking everybody how they feel about the start to the season. I guess I don't even really need to ask you. Already 1 win away from the program record. Almost had a tie for the program record against Liberty Christian on their home court. Man, that would have been amazing. But just what a start for your program.
Yeah, again, going into the season, we kind of thought, hey, we've got something here, but you just don't know until you know. And so we were going through the process, and our kids, to be fair and honest, our program hasn't really been in this position before where we're, down the stretch in a lot of games that are neck and neck, especially with good teams like
Right.
Liberty.
Exactly.
And so our kids are learning every minute that they're playing. They're learning something about how to play in this particular situation. And while we lost that game at Liberty, I think that it will help us as we move forward, kind of understand the things that we need to be better at so that we can pull that game out.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of teams on your schedule much better than Liberty Christian, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, we've got, coming up, we're coming out of the break with Frankton and the county, the Madison County tournament.
Yeah.
And, and they're going to be great. They're going to be good. They're going to be, they're extremely well coached. Coach Brobston and his staff do a wonderful job. Then you add their talent level to that. That's going to be a tough game for us, sure.
It's 17 days between now and then. Well, 17 days between the two games. What's the plan for the team between now and the Madison County tournament? And of course, we will preview the Madison County tournament
Sure.
until you get sick of it here. So,
I can imagine now.
So, what's your plan between now and then?
Yeah, so we gave the kids off after the Liberty game. We gave them the weekend, and then through Christmas, we're going to be back Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we're going to come in Monday, give them a couple days off there, for New Year's. And then we'll get back after New Year's. Our job is to just try to continue to do what we have done. And then, really once we get back, kind of after New Year's, we'll really start to work, kind of hard and heavy, getting ready for Frankton and the county in general. I think everybody's kind of in the same boat. It's such a flurry. When we first started, like when I first started coaching 26 years ago, you had more time and you had, all that stuff before your first game. Now you got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so, there's a lot of hurry up and now. And so luckily for everybody, we got a little bit of time just to chill out a little bit, be home with your family, your friends, that kind of stuff. But to answer your question, we'll get back after it on the 26th for 2 or 3 days, and then again after New Year's.
And Muncie Burris is 0-7 overall, 0-1 in conference. It's their third 0-7 start in 5 years. They lost 41-29 at Elwood on Thursday. Senior Tyler Bennett had 15 points. Senior Gavin Mitchell scored 6. Senior Matthew Hardy added 4. That was their last game until Tuesday, January 14th, when they host a good 1-5 Muncie Central team. Thanks to Coach King and Coach Ullom for joining the Central Indiana Sports Report. And thank you for listening. We hope you had the merriest Christmas in the history of Christmases. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. Ho, ho, ho! I love Susie.